Uh, I want to welcome you to another episode of the LeadHer Lounge, our relaxed monthly conversation through our National Women in Agriculture and Agri-Food Network project, where women across agriculture come together to share their experiences and spark ideas and talk about the things that impact their daily work. I want to first mention that we do have AI translation tool if you are needed translation services today for the conversation. And you can find those in, I think that'll be at the bottom toolbar. For those of you who may be new to LeadHer Lounge, my name is Phyllis McCollum. And those who have come before, this is the first session that I am hosting here of the LeadHer Lounge. I am the Director of Research and Knowledge Mobilization here at CARC, and primarily lead our labor market information and our national workforce strategy, but have recently taken over the National Women in Ag Network. I'm located just outside of Ottawa, and I farm with my husband. We have purebred Herefords and a livestock hauling business. And so I'm very attuned to balancing work, life, and community all together. And so these conversations are always very personal as well as professional as we dive in. So today, we have a bit of a unique conversation. I'm hoping that we're going to have a couple more panelists, but I have invited Kalysha from Newfoundland to talk about work that is going on in the province and work that they have coming up this year. We are looking to share information about provincial activities as well as ensure that ladies across the country are, in tune to what is going on and have ways of participating. So, Kalysha, I'd love for you to introduce yourself and take it away.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. So, hi everyone. My name is Kalysha Hanrahan. I am a board member of the Women in Agriculture Newfoundland and Labrador group, but I guess I wear a couple other hats. You may know me from I'm the Think Ag manager with Agriculture in the Classroom Canada. I also worked with the Newfoundland Labrador Federation of Agriculture for a period of time. Um, but today I'll talk about our Women in Agriculture NL group. I got about a 5 minute spiel, hopefully not too boring. But I just wanted to thank Phyllis and Kark for the opportunity to share an update on Women in Agriculture NL. Over the past year, we've really moved from an idea into growing connected and intentional organization. And Kark has played a pretty meaningful role in that journey over the last year. Receiving funding support from CARC at such an early stage was pivotal for us. Beyond the financial support, it provided validation that the experiences, leadership, and resilience of women in agriculture in Newfoundland and Labrador mattered at a national level. And that encouragement gave us the confidence to formally incorporate as a nonprofit and move forward with purpose. In our first year, we were pretty intentional about listening before building. We hosted smaller networking sessions across the province, which became the foundation of our work. Those conversations helped us understand where women felt isolated, what supports were missing, and what kind of community people were really looking for in the women in agriculture industry. And that feedback directly informed our strategic plan, which has been a living document for us so far, guiding decisions around programming and partnership and sustainability. All of that groundwork then led to our first annual conference and AGM, which we called Rooted in Resilience. And we held that at Marble Mountain on the west coast of Newfoundland. And it was amazing. It really, like, the turnout was more than we could have ever imagined. We had a ton of women from agriculture industry and not from the agriculture industry. It brought women together from across the province, from farms, agribusiness, research, and leadership roles. It was incredibly powerful. One of the most impactful moments came during a panel discussion where women shared personal stories of resilience and leadership. And the honesty in that room was just something else. It created a shared sense of recognition and that many women have been navigating similar challenges, often on their own. The feedback from the event was overwhelmingly positive, and many participants told us it was the first time that they had ever been in a room full of women working in agriculture. which was full stop wild to hear. They left not only with new ideas and inspiration, but with new connections, friendships, and a sense of belonging that had since been missing for them in the sector. And since then, we've continued to build momentum. So we now have over 40 members, an engaged board, and a clear strategic direction that focuses on connection, leadership development, visibility, and advocacy. And we're actively present on social media, primarily Facebook. So you can see any events or upcoming projects or anything we have on the go. On Facebook, it's just Women in Agriculture Newfoundland and Labrador, NL, where we share updates and celebrate women in agriculture and promote opportunities to connect. We're also expanding our programming in ways that reflect what members have asked for. So we're starting this year, we're launching quarterly virtual meetups to ensure that women from all regions can stay connected. The first one is coming up this evening, where we'll share organizational updates, connect members, and launch a New Year's Bring a Friend challenge to continue growing the community. So I'll put all the information for that in the chat. In addition to virtual engagement, we're showing up in person. So we'll be hosting a Women in Agriculture Newfoundland Labrador Wine and Cheese networking event during the Newfoundland and Labrador Federation of Agriculture Industry Symposium coming up in Gander in January. So being present at sector-wide events like this helps ensure women's voices and leadership are visible and woven into broader industry conversations. Looking forward, our focus is on continuing to grow intentionally, expanding membership and professional development opportunities, strengthening partnerships, and positioning women in agriculture in Newfoundland and Labrador as a trusted voice at both provincial and national tables, while remaining grounded in grassroots. So we really want to focus on member-driven work. So we're going to do like a needs assessment, an environmental scan of our membership as it grows. We're incredibly proud of what's been accomplished in just 1 year, and we are deeply grateful to CARC for the early investment that helped make this possible. That support didn't just fund a couple networking opportunities, it helped build confidence, community, and momentum that we're continuing to bring forward. So it's been quite the year at Women in Agriculture NL for sure.
That's fantastic, Kalysha. Um, I'd love to get a sense from you as, from the conversations that you've had, what would some of the kind of the top issues be the women are, happy to chat about and learn about?
I've actually found that a lot of the issues are just, they're the ones that are across the board when it comes to what producers are looking for, but they would just want a safer all women space to be able to kind of discuss. Or, if it's a women led organization or a women-led farm, they want to be able to be in a room full of women and really feel like their voice is being heard and have those conversations in a safe space. So it's not necessarily like we've heard a couple people make the jokes like we don't want to get together and share recipes. No, that's not at all what we're trying to do. We're trying to build a safe space for women to be able to like really get the information that you're needing properly without
Yeah.
having to go through all these avenues or not being taken seriously.
Absolutely. And I think that's so great. You know, and I did mention at the beginning, but I'm sure many have heard this year it's the International Year of the Woman Farmer. And many of us in organizations will be broadcasting initiatives and doing different things in this space, and especially through here on our LeadHer Lounge, we will continue to tap into that. And I think it's important that we continue to build safe space for women to connect, and we want to do that across the country, ensuring that all the women across agriculture have that opportunity. Um, I guess also I was hoping that we would have a few more panelists today, ladies. So I'm sorry about that. We were supposed to have two more ladies, but they don't seem to have joined us. So we're sort of flying here quickly. I take it from the audience. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to field those, and maybe between Kalysha and I, we could answer a couple questions. In the way of the International Year of the Woman Farmer, we are in the planning planning stages for events. And so if you know of things that are happening either in your province or in your area and are looking for collaboration, we are, I was just on a call with Agriculture Canada this week. And so we are looking to find a list of activities that are happening so groups can participate. And Kalysha has just added her virtual session tonight for those who want to join. So that's fantastic. And I think, there's a lot of opportunity across the province. And so I will be sure to share from the other groups what is happening and make sure that people can get involved. I'm just pulling my screen down. There we go. Oh, my chat is having a little meltdown. There we go. Perfect. Um, for those who are new as well, if you're new to LeadHer Lounge, CARC has a number of initiatives as well that are going on in the women in ag space. We are running our women in leadership essential leadership training, and so I can grab a link and add that as well. That's a 10-week session. And so it is both for primary agriculture as well as industry associations, those who are ready to lead but are unsure of where to start, anyone returning to work after a break or seeking new leadership tools. And you'll gain a number of insights by joining the program, strong communication and coaching skills, a deeper understanding of inclusive leadership, and you will also receive a completion certificate from CARC after the 10 weeks. So let me just find a link for that as well. In the way of other events happening, we are still waiting on to hear about funding for new regional events. And so hopefully in the next little while, I will have more information on that. And, those were an opportunity to ensure that women in regional areas could get together, provide events and networking opportunities, as well as some provided educational pieces throughout that. So there's a lot of ways to grow this, and I'm hoping that in 2026, with the emphasis on the women farmer, that there will be lots more events happening as well across our country. All right. Just trying to see if we have any questions. I don't see any. Um, I don't want to make this too short, ladies. I feel so bad right now that we don't have our other panelists. Um, Kalysha, maybe just any general thoughts. I didn't have any questions because everyone was going to chat. Um, any general thoughts on, the direction for women in ag or where you see, that going, maybe even outside of Newfoundland.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I can answer Amanda's question in the chat
Oh,
as well. Where can I find the info on the upcoming symposium? I'll put a link in the chat. Believe they have registration on their website right now. So I'm just going to quickly do that, answer that question for you. Here you go. Nope. Yeah, I got it in there. So that's the industry symposium. Um, yeah, I'll just kind of focus on the fact that from the lens that I work in with mostly, which is agriculture education, how important it is for women to be able to feel safe and accepted in the agriculture space. I think that it's something that we deal with at a very young age when it comes to putting agriculture in the school system. So we start like in kindergarten with the Little Green Sprouts program and go right to grade 12 with programming for agriculture. And you'll notice at a very young age that women don't see themselves and little girls don't see themselves in the agriculture space. They can't see themselves as a producer. When they think about a producer, they think, okay, we've got an old man with a pitchfork out in the field, right? So they don't know that there's not only a space for them as a producer in the agriculture industry, but there's also a space all within the agriculture industry. There's tons and tons of careers where they could find themselves. Anything that they're interested in, they could pursue in agriculture pretty much. So
Yeah.
I'll just say that spaces like this that you're creating and like women in agriculture groups, regionally, nationally, they're so important so that there's places where people can find children, little girls, women can find educational tools to help them find their own way into the agriculture space and industry. So it's not just really people who are already in the industry and they're looking for those groups, but people who may be interested in entering the industry and not knowing where to go from there.
Yeah, I think that's so important, and the education space is like so vital. Starting, young in kindergarten is absolutely fantastic. And I mean, we work with all like, between working with you guys through primary education and high school and then working in the university space, I'm helping some new grads out of Toronto right now find some tech jobs. And they were at an event that I was part of, and most of their, education and their sort of their insight into job availability was in like, general technology. And then they came to an agricultural event and they were like, I had no idea. And I was like, yeah, and you've like just like touched, just sort of tapped into it. And so really having that ability to showcase the opportunities in the sector. And one young lady that I've spoken with who has said, I would have never pursued an agricultural job if I hadn't come to the event and listened to you speak about the opportunities that there are and the career building availability. And I said, absolutely. I said, especially in technology because we're just sort of putting our feet wet in it. And so I think it's absolutely fantastic that we've been able to build these networks and continue to provide that space that allow women to discuss the opportunities and find new ways of building businesses and contributing to the sector. So it's a fantastic opportunity. Thanks, Patience, for sharing the link to the Advancing Women in Ag event. Yep, that will be in March in Calgary, and then there's also another one in Niagara Falls, usually in November. But
November.
I'm sure you'll find both of them there. The March one, I think it actually falls on National Women's Day.
Yeah.
So that will be a big deal in Calgary, I'm sure. I'm sure there'll be a big event there. Can you remind me of the name of the national organization? For us, so right now it's the National Women in Ag Network. And we are CARC is facilitating that right now. It's not an organization completely on its own, but we are managing those activities. And so, yeah, so far we will have that in-house. We may see down the road if it's possible for it to be a standalone organization, but that is still to be determined. There we go. Looking forward to the next one. Perfect. Great. All right.
Phyllis, I can
Yeah.
send you the information for if you're able to send it to participants, I can send you the information.
Yes, absolutely. Happy to do that. All right. Well, ladies, I want to thank you so much for joining today. I don't want to take time just to sit on the call. I'm very sorry that our additional panelists didn't join us today. That's okay though. We will get them the next time round. What I do have planned, so for February, my hope is to bring a few of our grant recipients from the last funding pool into this conversation and let them highlight the activities that they did with the grant money they had won. And then we will probably touch more on International Year of the Woman Farmer and activities that are starting to build there. And then March is going to be held during Canadian Ag Safety Week. And so we will be partnering with CASA, the Canadian Ag Safety Association, to host a meeting then. I'll be happy to share Kalysha's information with panel attendees today, or with presentation attendees today. And if there are any questions, please do reach out and let me know. But I want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us, and we'll be in touch. Thanks, everyone.